I didn't see what started it, but there's a good chance that it started with a correction that Artemis was making to Samson.
Artemis!
Samson generally submits right away, but he probably didn't feel like the correction she was making was a fair one, which I might tend to agree with him, knowing Artemis. But instead of submitting like he usually does, he actually put up it was short, but it was a hard fight. We usually don't let it get to this point. We usually try to redirect or call a dog off or something to distract them so that it doesn't escalate to the point of an actual fight or correction. We want to teach them to be able to get through their issues without a full-blown fight, and by possibly even considering what we have to say on the matter. So if we're clapping our hands and saying, whoever it is, Artemis, or clap Samson, we want them to look to us and say, okay, she's going to handle this. Before anyone asks, there was no blood drawn, and it ended in a sort of truce. Samson is usually the one to submit, but in this case, it just ended with both of them sort of just staring at each other, and 20 seconds of just awkward pause like that. So when we have a fight like that break out, what we do depends on the severity. The dogs have to work together, so if they can sort through their issues quickly and without harm, that would be the most ideal way to let them do it. If it seems like it's escalating, we usually break them up by grabbing them by their back legs and pulling them apart, and obviously you need two people for that to work out. And then we generally give them time apart so that their hormones can come down and they're a little bit calmer when they get back together again eventually. We also take note, because in this case, Artemis tends to give harsh corrections and seems to get upset over little things really easily. We are actively troubleshooting what's going on with Artemis, but from what we've read, the overreaction that we see in her could be as a result of her early spay. Her owner spayed her at 5 months, which, if you need to spay a dog at that age, I understand if you're working in rescue or something like that, but if you have the ability to wait, that would be ideal. But she was spayed by her owner at 5 months. We also took her to a specialist for her eye. We were thinking it was causing her pain. It turns out that eye just happens to be smaller than her other eye. There might also still be something else physical going on, and we're still working on that. She has vet appointments coming up, and so we'll see where it goes from there. But it could also possibly just be her genetics or her personality. We didn't get her from what you would call a reputable breeder. There were no health checks done. There were no papers. It was just someone who loved how her dogs worked together, loved their working ability, and decided to have a litter out of that. It just, from our perspective now, looking back, we should have just gone with a reputable breeder, and I would recommend that to anybody out there. Long term, you might be thinking it's more affordable to get a $200, $300, $400 dog from a backyard breeder. But it would, in our case, it would really have been worth it to get a breeder that backs their puppies, that also would not be contributing to the problem in the shelters for dogs like maybe Artemis that somebody else ends up with and gives up on them. So just be aware of that if you can. I would say it's cheaper, long run, to go through a reputable breeder than it is to end up with a dog that has health issues or something else that you can't sort through, and then either she's not able to work and you have to get another dog, or any number of things that could happen from that one choice. So keep that in mind if you are actively looking. I would not necessarily call us experts yet. We are constantly learning, always learning. We have 4 livestock guardian dogs, 3 of which are together most of the time, and 99% of the time they do really well together. But these are breeds that are bred to not back down. If necessary, they will fight to the death for their charges, but they are very measured in their corrections to each other. They have more than enough strength to draw blood in a quick fight with each other, and they generally don't. With these dogs, you want to utilize training techniques that minimize negative outcomes. Watch our playlist on livestock guardian dogs for a start in learning how to train these dogs, but most of all, start off with a well-bred dog with a parent history that you know. That includes a stable temperament and good health.